Coach. Good morning. Federico Herrera from Damegola. Coach, in Super Bowl 55, you guys had many troubles with the offensive line, and then you renew it completely, and now you are the third best offensive line with just 26 sacks allowed. On the other hand, the defense of the Eagles is the best with 70 sacks this season, and the third best since 1960, at least. Do you think, Coach, this is going to be the main matchup in this game in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'd tell you that when you get in the playoffs, that combination right there, the O-lines versus the D-lines on both teams, ends up being kind of the thing that wins or loses games. So, and it's magnified every level that you go up, every step of that you move up in the playoffs. And so the Super Bowl, it'll be magnified at the most between those two. And normally who wins that battle ends up winning the game. And so that's what you'll see. I'm sure that'll be the same way in this game as it is in most Super Bowls.
Right here, Coach. Coach, it's a bit of a piggyback off that question, but obviously protection issues were the issue in the last Super Bowl for you guys. Can you just talk about how your group, that front five, has evolved, and specifically the impact that Creed has had on it in his 2 years?
Yeah, protection ends up being the issue. You want to be able to have a mix of things in there that you can do. You get into those, if you get behind and you have to throw the ball every down, that's never good. And again, they've got that good defensive front. And then Creed has helped us in the middle as our center, and he's a smart kid. He's big, he's athletic, and tough. And so he loves to play the game, and that's been a real solid position for us.
Coach, right there.
Andy, how you doing? Good morning.
Good. Good.
Patrick Mahomes up for NFL MVP today, and also the NFL honors is tonight. For the second time, he could win MVP. What's that mean to you to be in 5 years that he's played as a starter to be up for MVP in such a short time?
Yeah, well, I think he's deserving of it for sure. He works extremely hard, as you know, at his profession. He works hard to be the best. He tries to help our team be the best. He says it every day when he comes into practice, into the huddle, let's be great today. And he lives that. And my hat goes off to him for that. Very proud of him for it, the way he goes about his business.
Good morning, Andy. There's a bit of a trendy phrase right now, which is, why is Travis Kelce always open? And it's kind of funny, but at the same time, there's a lot of truth. So what's your answer to that? Why is Travis Kelce always open?
Yeah, listen, Trev has a good feel for the game, and in particular for space. Teams have doubled him and banged him around, and man coverage, put DBs on him, corners and safeties, linebackers. They've tried a lot of different things. So throughout his career now, he's seen about everything you can put on him. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So, but he has a great relationship with our quarterback. Those two are on the same page. They see the defenses the same way. They're best friends on the field and off the field. That, I guess, helps too. You want to be, if you're a receiver, you want to be friendly with the quarterback for sure. And Travis, Travis is he studies. He comes off like a nice, funny guy and happy-go-lucky, but he studies like crazy, and he knows defenses, and he can see and react to them quickly during the game.
Hey, Coach, just the success you've had with more time to prepare for games, do you feel like with all the craziness that comes with the Super Bowl, you feel like you guys are chomping at the bit to play, or do you feel like you need more time to get ready for this game?
Yeah, I think the guys, they'll look forward to getting through today. Today's a little bit harder practice, and this is normally how it works during the season. they get through Thursday and they really start focusing in and going, doggone, we're there. And start getting really excited. But once they get through today, I'm sure they'll take place. It's been 2 weeks, man. They want to play, So we'll see how today goes.
And Andy, Ryan from the New York Post.
All right, Ryan.
With what happened to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, losing both their QBs, that actually happened to the Giants during the regular season too, and officials being able to pull a quarterback as soon as he hits his head to get tested. Do coaches need to think about activating a third quarterback for games so something like that doesn't happen? Is that something you'll consider either in this game or moving forward?
Yeah, I think the league will probably address that at the end of the season here. Right now, that's not where we're at. We've got our couple quarterbacks, and then we've got our backup plan. And hopefully we don't have to get to that backup plan. The chances are that you don't, but you never know. If you do, you do.
Coach, good morning.
Herbie.
You're right, my left this time.
There you go, babe.
Kadarius Toney yesterday was limited in practice. This is our last day of media availability, but what is your concern level for his availability for Sunday night?
Yeah, so he did everything yesterday that was planned for him to do, but he's got more today, and we'll see how he does. But he was spirited yesterday and running around like crazy, so we'll see how it works out today.
Coach, right here. Obviously, your rookies have played in a lot of big spots for you, none bigger than what's coming up on Sunday. How do you get them to kind of calm down, go through the emotions of playing in the Super Bowl? Is it a play call? Is it something you have to say? How do you get them to kind of focus in on it?
Yeah, normally the first hit, they calm down a little bit, whether it's an offensive player being hit or vice versa. So, but I'm sure their juices will be going, and it's important that they maintain their composure and give themselves an opportunity to play to their best. And but again, it's a Super Bowl, and you can coach guys up on it, but having that experience is different. Yeah.
Good morning, Coach Reid. You spoke briefly about Travis Kelce's ability to constantly get open. The Eagles also have one of the premier tight ends in the league. What would you say the unique challenges are covering a tight end versus a wide receiver?
Yeah, well, they're big and athletic, and so you've got to have a defender that is big and athletic and can run like tight ends can run, and it's a unique challenge, and it will be for both teams. Yeah.
Good morning, Coach Reid. I'm curious as to what your favorite song is by Rihanna.
Oh boy, you need to ask Patrick that one, since you set him up yesterday, or whoever set him up yesterday with the question.
Coach, with the roster and defense with as much turnover as this one, how valuable is the perspective of a coach like defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, and how have you seen him use his experience this week?
Yeah, so Steve's very good. I've known him a long time, and he was on that original staff that we had at Philadelphia, and I knew him before that at the college level. So I've got trust in him, a lot of trust in him. He's got a good scheme, tremendous scheme. And he has a big test coming up on Sunday. So it's a great challenge. They've got a good offense. They'll make some plays, and I know our defense will make some plays. So it's, but that's the challenge there.
Coach, you've got such a good feel for your team. You always do. It's obviously a strength of yours. So can you share with us the feel you have for your guys right now? We're not going to be able to talk to you between now and the Super Bowl. So if you could just summarize the vibe right now.
Yeah, they're obviously excited. They're excited to be here, and do this. You get to today, and you've got the hardest practice, of the week. I'm not telling you it's 2-a-days or anything like that, like training camp, but they have a good practice ahead of them. I know they look forward to getting through that, and then I think they start picking things up. It's more now the game, and they can kind of see the end of the tunnel of practice. All these practices that they've had leading up to this thing. But I love this team. I love the energy of the team. They're fun to be around. They kind of know when to be crazy and when to crank it down and tune it in and be serious. And so I think it's a good bunch, unique. I felt like during the season, every week I was getting to know these new guys a little bit better. We had so many changes, and I love the way everything gelled there, personality-wise.
Coach, a number of your guys over the years have talked about how you coach them to get better and peak late in the year. You've been around a lot of Super Bowl teams, both as a coach and as a spectator, since you've been in the league. How do you explain how some guys really step their game up, play their best on the biggest stage, and how it can be, overwhelming for others?
Yeah, that's the human element, and what makes it so interesting, and people are so curious to watch. You don't know. You don't know who that person will be. But somebody will. In this game, there's somebody that we haven't mentioned. And just about everybody's been, there's somebody that hasn't been mentioned that's going to step up and you're going to go, wow. That was a great job by that kid.
Andrew Galato with WFUV Sports. Coach, your offense, last season with Tyreek Hill, now this season without him, really hasn't skipped a beat at all. What can you say about Patrick, Travis, and that group, losing a star receiver and now really right back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, it starts with Patrick, and he didn't go anywhere. That was the plus. He's right here with us, and then Travis is a big part of that. The thing I was most proud of them about was we had all these new people come into the mix. Other than McCole Hardman, most of the guys were new, and the guys welcomed them in, and then helped teach them. So not only did Joe Blameyer coach them, or Tom Melvin coach the tight ends, or Greg Lewis with the running back, but the players, the veteran players, the Travises and Mahomes and McCole, they all helped out getting these guys to where we are now and where they're comfortable playing with each other there. Yeah.
Jack Pearson, Arizona PBS Cronkite News. Sorry, over here.
Oh.
Jack Pearson, Arizona PBS
Yep.
Cronkite News. Both you and Philadelphia in your conference championship games were able to get to Burrow and Purdy really early in that game. How important is it to kind of punch first in this game with a more mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, sure. You want to get started fast, and that's the objective in every game. And but if something doesn't happen, the game is still 4 quarters, and you got to play the whole game. And the one thing that jumps out at you in Super Bowls is turnovers. You got to limit the turnovers, and it's great to start fast, but that also, there are other factors in there that become important, and turnovers is probably one of the biggest ones.
Dario Austin here with playerprofiler.com. So 4th downs have obviously played a big role in these playoffs. We know the Eagles are very willing to be aggressive on 4th downs. You guys scored a touchdown on a very important 4th down in the AFC Championship game. What do you make of that shift league-wide, and how do you approach that as a head coach?
Yeah, we try to stay relatively aggressive on 4th downs, and as do the Eagles, there's a judgment that needs to be made according to field position, time, the time on the clock, and what quarter you're in, and so on, what part of the game you're in. But and then what do you have on that sheet that looks good and to call? And so you take all those factors in, and you go for it. And, and then, anyways, that's kind of how you go about it.
We'll go three more. We got one in the back, one on the side, and one up front.
Andy, just following up on the Tyreek question from before, how did you and Eric have to adjust the offense without him and with the new pieces?
Yeah. So first of all, we were happy that Tyreek had a great year. And he's a good kid, so he had a good season there in Miami. We didn't have to go back and do a whole lot of changing, which was a plus. Scantling can run and Watson can run, and now are they as fast as Tyreek? No, there's nobody as fast as Tyreek. So, but they still fit the plays. They still fit and work, even though these guys are just a tick slower. But and McCole Hardman was another one. When he was healthy, he could run. So the plays that required that, we still called and had success with. So yeah.
Last two, James. Over here, Andy.
Yep.
Sunday, before the buses leave this hotel, what will be the routine for you and your team from when you get up to when you get on those buses? What will go down here at the hotel?
Yeah, it'll be very similar to what goes on regular road games, because we have the travel to get to the stadium, and it's a little bit longer bus ride. There are things that are a little bit longer. Your pregame is longer. Your halftime is longer. The commercials, the breaks are longer by 10 seconds, 4 of them by 20 seconds, that whole deal. So, and you've got 2 more commercials, I think, thrown in there than you normally do. But up to the point of leaving, we'll do our pregame breakfast, and because we have to leave earlier than because of the time start and the distance to get to the stadium, we won't do our normal walkthrough that we would have with a night game. So, but that we don't do it for day games anyways. So it remains relatively the same. Yeah.
Last one. Coach, teams, especially the AFC, have made it known that they've drafted players, signed players, changed schemes to stop the Chiefs specifically. Just kind of curious how you've adapted to that and if it's changed your coaching style. Yeah, it has just a bit. There was a point where you could predict what you were going to see. With Patrick, it's kind of gone a different direction, that teams will do things that they haven't shown before. So Patrick made that adjustment. We made the adjustment right there with him to give him things that we felt were good versus all looks, as opposed to just being, say, a cover 2 specific play. So that took a little bit of time to work through, but we've done that the last couple of years now, and it's worked out. It's worked out pretty good. All right, thank you.
Okay, good.
Really made the tight end position cooler than it's ever been. Why have you guys, and especially, been a beacon for doing something like that and making sure that people knew, like, okay, you guys got to focus on us as well?
Well, I think it starts with the type of character that you got in the tight end room, and it's usually a selfless guy that puts the team first, that just has a whole lot of fun playing the game, man, and that's what you see out of us three specifically, but it's all across the league, and there's a lot of talent in the tight end room across the league, and I'm very fortunate here that Coach Reid showcases my talents on the field a lot and puts a lot of trust in me to, have success for this offense. And, I'm just hoping that because of tight end we can keep creating that spark in the tight end room and the type of mismatch that we can have out there on the field. So league-wide, we can really get the position that much more ingrained in the offenses.
Travis, to your left here. Could you take us back a little bit to the off-season workouts with Pat and some of the new receivers in Texas and how helpful that was as you kind of went through the grind of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it was Pat's idea to get everybody going before we got into OTAs, and you know what? I think that all that did was really just get the ball rolling and get everybody in the same mind frame. They kind of saw how me and Pat, how McCole was down there, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was down there working their tails off, and they saw the practice habits there. And then that was just the easy way to transition right into OTAs when we got the coaches involved and the entire team together. But, it was as much as we like to say it's about a culture here, you can't say enough about the guys that came in that took this to heart, man. It's cool looking back on it now because you see the determination, you see the focus, you see the want to get to a position that we're in. And, man, it's gratifying for sure, but I don't think enough is said about the professionals that came in, the guys that came in this year with the right mindset each and every single day, even when, we weren't even clocking in with the Chiefs. We were just trying to figure out how we were going to make this thing work.
Hey, Travis, over here to your right.
Right on.
We know how much Patrick Mahomes has meant in your career with NFL honors today and him being up for the MVP award and him winning one his second year. What's it mean to you to see the evolution of him from that first MVP year to now being a favorite to win the MVP and seeing how he's evolved over this year in comparisons to that first MVP season he had?
I think we just seen him grow as a quarterback. His talent level goes far beyond more than his ability to instinctually just go out there. He's playing a step ahead. And he's almost playing chess out there in terms of he's got 3 or 4 moves already in his pocket, depending on what the defense does. And, that's what's going to make him the greatest to ever go down. And I love playing with him, and he's nonstop, always trying to find ways to make himself better for this team. And you saw that more so this year than any other year that we've played, knowing that the pieces were a little bit different in terms of the weapons that he has and the scrutiny that everybody was kind of looking to see how he was going to take his game to the next level. And sure enough, I'm pretty sure he'll win MVP.
Morning, Trav. Why
Morning.
are you always open?
Why am I always open? I say it all the time. Andy Reid, baby. Big Red. He can dial some stuff up at the right time, create some things at the right time, and then on top of that, everybody is doing their job. It's not just me just go out there and get open kind of play. I'm sure you guys like to think that, but there's a lot of madness to it, and there's a lot of guys doing their job for the big picture, and I'm fortunate that I'm playing here for sure.
You talked about the new guys and the important role they play in this Super Bowl. Obviously not the result y'all wanted last time in the Super Bowl. Do you use that as motivation this week? Do you tell them what it's like to lose a Super Bowl in the build-up to this one?
I don't even like to revisit that one. I'll tell you what, that wasn't a prideful moment in my life. But I'll tell you what, it's good wisdom to have. And as a leader, I don't think, as a leader, I don't think that I stepped up to the plate as much as I should have in that game. And that's where it really burns me. So I'm just focusing on myself to be able to be the best leader that I can, the best teammate that I can come game day. And, not put my team in a position like I did the last time we were in the Super Bowl.
Travis, right over here. Given it's year 10 for you, what did you feel like
was your toughest challenge this season, and what was necessary to overcome it to get to this point?
Every single season has their challenges, and I feel like this year for me it was keeping the body at full strength. That was probably the biggest thing for me. You know, week in, week out, you always try and get back to 100%, and you know, in this league towards the end of the season, especially with the 17th game now, man, it's tough to try and get back to that top, like, physical form. And especially the older you get, I'm sure everybody can account to that. But it's there's that aspect, and then the challenge of the injuries around you and things like that. But for the most part, for me, it was week in, week out, trying to get my body back to playing in the best physical form that I can.
Travis, you talked a minute ago about Pat maybe winning MVP. What would that mean to you and really the rest of the guys in the locker room if he did win that award?
Really, it's just it's something that I know at the end of his career he's going to be able to hang his hat on, but Pat doesn't walk into that building thinking I need to be the MVP. He walks into that building trying to find the best way to beat the opponent that we have that week. And he just goes out there and he plays the style of football that he does. He has fun doing it with the guys that he has around him, and we rally around that. We rally around that excitement, that want for and that desire to win with the guys next to us, man. It just makes coming into the building that much more fun.
Travis here in the middle. Hi. You and Patrick Mahomes have a very special relationship, and you've talked a lot about the play-by-play mentality. With Mahomes coming off an injury and having a harder time getting out of the pocket, how are you and the rest of the offensive line planning on creating opportunities to move the ball down the field?
Yeah, I mean, that defensive line is arguably the best in the game this year, and a big reason why they're here in the Super Bowl. And it's going to be a big task. But I know our offensive line, everybody that's in the run game and pass game in terms of having to deal with the front and protecting Pat, we're all pretty locked in on the task at hand. And we know it's going to be a challenge. We know that they got some real dogs up front. And even if they get to Pat once or twice, man, we got to find a way to still move the ball downfield and have success.
Ruth Biggis with KC Cares. You and your brother are having a lot of fun with this. You're setting history. What's important about that situation, and what do you have to say for the folks back in Cleveland who are your second biggest fans?
I'll tell you what, I love Cleveland to death. The east side of Cleveland, where I grew up, it's given me so much in terms of my passion for sports, my passion for life, my passion for the friends and family that I have around me. And I know the Heights is proud. We're representing you guys in the biggest stage that we could possibly represent you on. And it's just there's a lot of pride for not only the city but the people back home. Yeah, we'll go out there and try and get a win. But I think it'll mean a little bit more if the Chiefs win. That's just me being a little biased.
All right, we got three more. Young lady here, Sam, Albert.
Yeah, hey Travis. This is sort of playing off Diana's question about always being open. Chad told me a couple of weeks ago that he thinks it's because you were a high school quarterback and you know how to set up coverage, you understand leverage, all of that. How much does that experience having played quarterback in high school play into the player you are at tight end now?
Initially, I really didn't. Going into the tight end position, man, it was a pretty big struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't feel comfortable running routes. I didn't feel comfortable blocking. It took really a full year to 2 years up until my senior year in college to really kind of hone my own craft. And then it changed as soon as I got to the league. I went from really being a wide tight end, an inline tight end, to kind of this new creation that you see Coach Reid and the offensive staff really creating for me in this offense. And making that transition, I think, yeah, you have an understanding of what that quarterback is going through back there. You have an understanding of the progression on this play. You have the understanding of, all right, versus this defense, this is where I need to go with the ball. And if you have that kind of mindset, if you're in the quarterback's mind and you're thinking with him and the chemistry is there, there's certain things you can do when you run routes to get open or to just make that guy's life that much easier. And that's my job. My job is to go out there and paint a picture for the quarterback to make his job that much easier, a clear-cut, decisive picture of where to go with the ball. And from that point on, as soon as I get it in my hands, it's just that's when the fun starts. So it's just, I guess being a quarterback definitely helped out a lot because I get to understand I kind of understand the conversations and the things that are going on in that quarterback's head. But at the end of the day, I feel like everybody's got to have that quarterback mentality or that quarterback mindset on reading the defense and adjusting depending on what they're presenting.
Hey, Travis. You spoke a couple days ago about the support that you received from some of the Cincinnati coaches the year that you weren't playing. What kind of role did your brother play too in that, and the support that you received from him?
Man, when I got removed from the team, I got my scholarship took, so I was actually staying with my brother. I was in his room in his house, kind of like two brothers growing up living in the same room. So in terms of rent, I wasn't paying rent. In terms of food, he was helping me with food. So I was literally living off him for quite a while down there, and he was my lifeline. And that being said, every single day I was trying to do the right things. And he went into the coach's office and actually talked to numerous coaches and numerous people in the Cincinnati staff to try and give me another chance to be on the team. And I'm forever in debt to this guy for putting his name, our name, just putting his honor on the line to give me another chance. And so when I say I owe it all to him, I really do.
Travis, earlier to a question you said your work to not put your team in the same position you did last time you were in the Super Bowl. What do you mean by that, and is that something that's obviously stuck with you for the past couple of years?
I mean, through every single game, you're going to have those ups and downs, and unfortunately, we had a lot of challenges early on, and I don't think I handled it the best as a leader in terms of stepping up to the plate, helping control the mindset. Making a big-time play to spark some energy, to spark that momentum. There were a few plays early on there that I just didn't feel like I did my job, and then on the sideline, in terms of the energy and the and the demeanor of the team, that's where I really think I could help out as well.
Last question in the back.
Travis, we saw what happened in the NFC Championship game when this 49ers season gets derailed because of injuries at the quarterback position. People have talked about the possibility of you having to be emergency quarterback. What about Blake Bell? Who's the better quarterback in that room?
I'm going to say Blake Bell by a landslide, man. He's actually gone in a college game, and I believe it was Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, I think. He went down there, a 2-minute drive or something like that. I've seen a little bit of the highlights, and I've seen him play. And just throwing it around on the field. Yeah, I'm taking Blake Bell over me for sure.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
I went through a lot of adversity, and I overcame that by talking to my adults, talking to my parents, and not only that, my close friends that I trust, and those close friends were my teammates and my brothers on my team, and just having little exercises where we're able to share our stories and tell each other where we came from and how we got here. That played a long role in myself and how I handle my business today, and most importantly is just make sure you reach out to somebody you love and care for and that you trust. Yes, I looked up to Tom Brady growing up because that was the GOAT of this whole game here, and everybody wants to get to the point where we're able to compete for a championship and a Super Bowl ring, and as Tom Brady coming in with 6 Super Bowl rings, that was my whole mindset. Looking up to him as a kid, and wanting to get to this high level and compete on this championship stage, and now I'm actually here and within a year, and it's been so fast, but there hasn't been no break for me. And I'm so shocked and still excited, and can't wait to go out there and execute.
Last one for me, a little game called Best or Worst, just to get to know your team a little bit. Who's got the worst game on the team?
As in what sport?
No, with the ladies.
I don't know about that. We don't get into people relationship lies around here. We know.
Who's got the worst drip on the team?
The worst drip. Probably me, for real. I gotta get my drip right.
Who's got the best bars?
The best bar? I probably had to go with. Is it Sky?
Who on the team would you not let date your sister?
All right, this is a goofier question. We'll lay off the free agency talk. Pat obviously is well known for his crazy throws, left-handed, underhanded, no look. But there's one that he's working on that he hasn't really unveiled yet, and it's the behind the back. And I know Travis has been calling for it at practice.
Yeah, he does it. He actually does it. He does it. He does it really well at practice.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity ever presents itself where he's running towards the sideline, there's a guy coming in, cutting him off, and the only way he can get the ball out is behind the back. He's going to do it, but I'm sure he's seen it all.
Being humble and staying down to the course and staying on task, that helped me shape who I am today. With going to a program, going there as a freshman, having offers from a lot of different places, but wanting to stay home and represent New Jersey and help change the program around. I had the same mindset when I went into college as I had into high school, as in, I want to go there, play for my hometown, and change the program around. We weren't so good, but we ended up changing the program around, and we ended up having a winning season. And when I went to Rutgers, that was my mindset as a freshman coming into high school. And having being elected as a captain as a freshman is something big for me. And that right there showed like I was a part of the team and I was a leader. So I held myself accountable to those standards. And when I got to college, I kind of had that same part of role mentality when I gained there as a freshman. I was the leader, and I wasn't elected as a captain as a freshman, but you could tell I was a captain. I was leading the team and did whatever I had to do to help the team win. And it started with those little things in the locker room. Even if it was a towel or being the last one in the building to get the extra exercise, or just to help my body out and get my mind right, I would do the little things that would help me the last in this game. And 2 coaching changes, they both played a part in my career, and shaped me who I am today. And I'm more thankful to have those coaches in my college career.
What do you see when you look at the Eagles defense, when you study the Eagles defense, the front seven? I mean, what type of challenges will they present to you and your offense?
When I look at the Eagles defense, they're competitive. They work really hard. They work as a whole unit. That's when we got to execute our plays and dial in and eliminate the distractions outside the field and focus on our job. Thank you. It's a blessing, and I couldn't be more blessed and thankful to be in this position I am now. To not only show the support to the Latinos, but everyone around the country, the kids, everyone that's looking up to me. It's just a blessing to be in this position, to come here as a rookie and to be starting. It's a lot of hard work, but it was not a day where I was satisfied. I'm still not satisfied, and I'm still finding ways to get better in the classroom and off the field to help me to perform at a high level. No, I haven't, but I heard something about it, and that's pretty cool. And it's special to be playing in this game, and that most people don't get to play in. And for us to compete at this high level, it's a blessing, and shout out to him.
Competitiveness, every game being that close, that's what you live for, those moments.
You go by Jet. Who's the first one to give you the nickname Jet?
Jet, I got that in college my freshman year. After my first game, my coaches and my teammates, they start calling me it. And, at first I was like, all right, that's a nice nickname. Like, I could get with it. I got a real name, but I could get with it. And then after a while, it just kind of took over as my name. So I just ran with it, and ever since then I've been Jet. So it's cool. I could dig it.
Okay, yeah, I can dig it too. Jet, thank you so much for your time.
Ended up receiving my first scholarship to Rutgers, and once I received the scholarship and I played the full baseball season, batted a .475, one of the highest batting averages on the team, and was able to get the the trophy at the end of the season. Was an MVP on the baseball team. So being a year apart from baseball, then going back to earning the highest batting average to so for me to soak that all in and being able to, compete at the best sport that I love, and that's football, I decided to go with football because, this is the contact sport, and you're allowed to hit somebody as hard as you can without getting in trouble. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. It's going to be tough. They're a great defense. They play as a whole, and that's when we have to be accountable to each other and listen to the coaches. Let the coaches coach, and we the players, and we play the game. Let them call the calls, and we focus on our job and dial in, eliminate the distractions, and we'll be at our best.
To Philadelphia, but you have your own connection, being a Delaware guy. When you learned that it was going to be the Eagles that the Chiefs were facing, what was going through your mind at that time?
Well, yeah, as soon as the playoffs started, and both teams having the 1 seed, and then after winning that first game, you start thinking in your mind, wow, I mean, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Super Bowl is possible, and on one hand, it's so hard to get here that you're just extremely blessed and fortunate to be here. Without question, I mean.
Poquito. Go Chiefs Kingdom. Let's go. Let's rise as one. Thank you. 7. Good. As a 7th-round pick, just stand down. Came out of Rutgers, not on any draft reports or anything. Going to 2 All-Star games, finding ways to get seen, just trying to get better day by day, finding new ways to build, and that's what it's all about. You're going to have adversity. It's how you handle it. It's if you have adults around you, parents, teachers, the people that care for you, explain your story to them, talk to them. They will only want the best for you, and they want to see you succeed in life. So for me, for the folks in New Jersey and Vineland, they helped me through this my entire way, and just having my back, and for me going through adversity shaped who I am today, and just staying to the script, eliminating the distractions. That's very important because the scheme is the most important part of the game. For me as a running back, I have to lock in on the job very hard and intense focus and let the game come to me. When it comes down to those plays, is how hard we execute and whoever has the ball, protect the ball.
What he would want me to play for me and to get it done for me and to be present, enjoy the moment, and then celebrate with my family.
Did you guys want to ask a question? Sorry. What's that? Auburn, yeah.
He's like, y'all are still his questions.
No, you're getting
this week as if we were home in KC, and it's the same routines. We got massage therapists. It's just the little things. It's what you do with it at the moment. And for me, I took advantage of it, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to be at my best when comes Sunday. The first game we played in was here in Arizona, so for me, same reaction, same intensity. It's how I handle the distractions, and that for me is eliminate those and focus on my job and listen to the words that speak to me. Thank you. Yeah. I was really excited, and I knew the neighborhood and where I came from. They're all going to be supporting me, and the Eagles. But for me to just whatever I have to do to be at my best in that game, to show the world how hard I've been working, but not only the team, and for us to play as a unit and to show the world how accountable we are to one another. No, I did not go to any Eagles games growing up. My first NFL game that I attended is the one that I played in here in Arizona. And, it's a blessing to be back here in the Super Bowl, ready to rock. Thank you. Some songs on my pregame playlist. We saw Babyface Ray, Masterpiece. That's one of them. You need to put that on. That opportunity right there is a blessing for me. I couldn't be more thankful for my agent, Neil Schwartz, and Sandy Cornelio. Terrell Davis, he was their agent as well, and their client. So for me to be in the position I am now, to come back to the Super Bowl, and my agent told me, I believe in you, you're going to be the next MVP. And for him to have Terrell Davis as an MVP in the Super Bowl, and now me in the Super Bowl, having a shot to compete at a high level, it's just the little things. Is for me to focus on my job so I could be the best I could be at the moment.
Man on offense, he can tell it how it is, but at the same time, he can see it as a quarterback and really just visualize what's out there. But as getting in front of a team and demanding it, I think he'd be great. I mean, there's never a point where he didn't sit Patrick down after practice and say, hey, this is what we need to get better in, this is what you did well, and I think you can do that with any player.
Did you see him develop as a coach in the time you were together? And what was that growth like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the beginning, it's hard for a first-year coach, especially in a quarterback position, to get up in front of an offense, and you got some veteran guys up there to speak. And obviously there's some growing pains, but at the same time, I thought he did a phenomenal job. He got his point across, he was demanding, and everybody got the information and executed it well. Yep, you got it.
I want you to settle the debate if you guys got into a 49er situation. You and Pat were out. Blake, Jet, or Kelce?
I think it's Jet. I think Jet's the guy. He was obviously a quarterback at Georgia Southern, so I think he's our third guy. Or Noah Gray. Noah Gray's also been working at it. So each and every Thursday after practice, they usually go through a little script that we have, and they run it.
Quite the tight end room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any thoughts? You think there ought to be bring back that emergency rule for the third guy?
Yeah, just talking to the previous interview, absolutely. And when I was in 2008, I thought it was great. You develop younger quarterbacks, and you kind of just have a better. It's not a big shelf fall off for the starter to back up the third. And if we can do that and not count towards a cap or obviously a roster spot, it will benefit the league a lot.
Thanks, Jeff.
Was it like kind of watching that all unfold in San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You never want those situations to happen. But at the same time, Josh Johnson, I mean, he's my draft class. He's had plenty of experience. And, for what he did come in, obviously he did a great job. He handled it well. I don't think the stage was too big for him. But then to see him get knocked out and then, Purdy couldn't come in because of his injury and throw, that's tough. And you rely all on your run game mostly, and you rely on your defense. And it's tough to win football games in this league doing that.
Between watching that and then what you had to do against Jacksonville, does that kind of help it set in that you're one play away from getting into a Super Bowl?
Absolutely, and obviously with Patrick's injury, you just don't know how it's going to go that game. If somebody falls on it just differently, it's definitely a little ginger still for him, and you just never know what's going to happen. So it's the biggest stage, and definitely have to be more than ready for this game.
This obviously isn't your first time in this role in a Super Bowl, but do you prepare any differently given the injury?
Not really. I mean, I just take each and every week just like I'm a starter and try to prepare like that. And I think obviously conditioning-wise, just staying ready that way, make sure I get my throws in each and every week that Patrick does, and just stay ready that way.
I guess maybe to backtrack quite a bit, signing with the Chiefs a couple of years back now, I guess to come to a team like that where you kind of knew that was kind of going to be the role, to be a backup, I guess what was kind of the thought process there in terms of teams that you were able to sign with and all that kind of stuff? I guess why here?
Yeah, I had a visit with the Tennessee Titans right before I came here, and I really liked it. Matt LaFleur, obviously, Vrabel was the head coach, and enjoyed it there at time, but I wanted to see what Andy Reid was all about. And obviously, he's had success with every quarterback he's ever been with. They said he's like the quarterback whisperer, and I just wanted to be a part and just meet him before I signed anywhere. And once I met him for the first time and got to talking, X's and O's, I knew exactly where I wanted to be, and that's one of the reasons why I came.
What's it been like in that quarterback room? It's two very different styles, you and Patrick, but what's it kind of been like over these past couple of years?
Well, it's been great. I mean, obviously he's learned from me, like different things that I know, but I've learned so much more from him and just the younger style of football play, how they go out and play, how they see space. Like our generation's more rhythm and timing, and these guys are spatial awareness and kind of the spread offense. And I've learned so much from him in these last 5 years that I've done my whole career.
When you did sign here, could you have ever imagined that it would be this kind of run?
No. I mean, obviously I left Jacksonville, we were in the AFC Championship, and then rip off 5 straight AFC Championships from there. No, because my first year in Miami, we made the playoffs, and then 9 years later, it was dormant. And I think it's just an unbelievable experience, and it's due to the players in here, obviously the coaching staff, and Brett Veach bringing in hell of players that can go out and play.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
That's all I got for y'all right now. I'm trying. But, yeah, we all love Riri. We all love Riri, man. Come on now. If you don't love Riri, something wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Shout out to ASAP, too. She is a married woman. I got my own stuff going on. Shout out my lady, But shout out Rihanna, continue to do good things.
Frank, I was just talking to Chris about the Eagles' offensive line. He called them the best O-line in football.
Uh-huh.
When you look at that group and you look at those guys, what stands out to you most?
I feel like their will to get the job done. I mean, you don't see a lot of O-linemen nowadays, like across the line now. We're talking all 5 that's getting the job done just collectively, Whether it's a great player or, not so great player, average player, they make each other look good. They make everybody across that unit, they know how to complement each other. Whether it's the tackle complimenting the guard, whether it's the running back helping out with chipping and helping the tackle do his job more efficiently. They know how to work together, and that's all you like seeing. They're a team. And we all know that. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles for the last, you can say 10 years, they're a great established organization. You know what I mean? And everything they do, they're first class. So, shout out to them. Hats off to the Eagles for what they've been able to do this year offensively, specifically on the offensive line front, because I'm sure the offensive linemen don't get that much love, man. So they're getting all the praise they can get from me, man. Shout out to them boys. Real talk. Got you. Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a good game. Majority of football games, if not all football games, are decided in the trenches. So it's going to be a battle.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
man.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Feeling.
Right, so they have a nice offense, a nice little system they have as far as the run the pass game. They have the deep shots, the RPOs, things like that. So it's a situation where you're getting your toes on all times. You know what I mean? So to me as a fan, it's beautiful to see for sure.
When you take on a quarterback like Jalen Hurts who can scramble, what does a defensive back, a safety, have to do to try to contain a guy like that? How challenging is it when you face scrambling type quarterbacks?
It's very challenging because you gotta worry about the quarterback running the ball as well as him throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? As a safety, I'm already 15 to I'm back there. So I look up and he's running. I'm like, oh, yo, come on now, help brother out. But I think overall, just having the combination they have and just being a person where he has to break through the first seven, so I'm relying on my front seven to do the dirty work, and I can come in and clean some stuff up later on. But it's definitely a challenging thing to do to be able to defend the run and the pass as opposed to safety, or any safety for that matter, because it's not a threat you have to take account for. Yeah.
What's been like learning?
You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill, bro. Move, get out.
Significant times. They might not be here next year because of financial reasonings. They might go and get paid somewhere else. I understand that. But I've been in the league 7 years, and this is probably the most complete brotherhood I've had. And I'm very appreciative for the guys that they brought in for us in this room this year. Thank you. Say that again, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thinking back to, a lot of your teams, rookies and your younger players who weren't around for those runs in 2020 and 2021. How valuable is the perspective for you?
Well, I look at it like this. If they never been through it, they can't understand what it takes to go through it. They got to go through it themselves. You know what I mean? If I told them I know what it feels like to lose a championship and they never lost a championship, they can't understand that feeling, right? So what they can do is start a new chapter for themselves, you know what I mean? As in, we come here and win this one, and they can kind of make their own type of journey, and they don't have to live on my journey of losing one, right?
So how do you maybe coach them up, to prepare them for this?
I think they all prepare. I don't think it's about coaching. This is week 23 of the season. I don't think they need any more coaching or any more motivation on what we need to do to win this game. I think more so it's important about letting them know how important it is to take all of this in, embrace this opportunity, enjoy these moments, because these moments are not promised, and make sure we don't lose focus of why we came here. Thank you. Everything. Everything. Whatever you want to take it for, it's going to take everything. That's my guy. Steve doesn't get a lot of credit for the success of this defense, but Steve, experience. I think he's been. This is his 5th Super Bowl. Won 3, lost 1. We're playing in his 5th one right now. His resume speaks for itself. He was able to dial up a defense to defeat Tom Brady twice in one of those Super Bowls, probably arguably the greatest quarterback ever to play the game. His mind frame and how he's able to dial up plays is remarkable. I'm super grateful to have him. We know his worth. We know how valuable he is to this defense, so we understand it. Experience. Not at all.
And it was one of my goals for it to happen one day, but I didn't really expect it to happen this quickly. But that's really cool, and if anything, that just ups the standard for me. That's something that now that I've done it, I've got to come back every year and hold myself to a really high standard, which I do already. But now it's even more so and even more amplified. So. No, you're good. I'm just chilling, man. Take your time.
How is it being a punter with the league's #1 offense? You can go long stretches without coming in, and then how is that? Like, kind of, I know it's a different position, but not having a
No, right. I think there's a massive misconception about my job and like what I do in such like a high-powered offense. Like everybody assumes that I'm super fresh on the field. You know what I mean? That since I'm not like kicking a lot in the game, but yeah, with that misconception, it's actually I feel more fresh on a game that I have more punts, because if I have very few punts, that means we're going these long drives, first down, second down, third down, first down, second down, third down, and every third down I'm hitting a couple balls into the net. So by the end of the game, I've hit like 250 balls, So, but then on games that we punt, a good amount of times, I'm not hitting as many balls into the net. I'm not on my feet as much, so I actually feel a lot more fresh after games that I punt a lot than I do that we have 0 or like 1 punt. So.
You want the offense to score. What's the excitement when the third down doesn't go down?
This is a game that I would be very happy not punting in. Hopefully we get a lot of extra points and maybe a couple field goals. So hopefully I get a lot of work with my hands and yeah, not too many punts. But if I have to punt, I'm hoping for like a 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter type punt when we've secured it.
Last one. When Harrison went down earlier in the year, were you in discussions to step up as kicker? Is that in your arsenal?
So we've prepared for it a little bit. Kicking is something I definitely can do. I feel like I'm a pretty natural kicker, so I feel like if I just get a little practice in, hit a couple balls, just get a feel for it, I'm fine to go out there. And when Harrison did go down, I went straight up to Coach Tove and I was like, hey, you need me to do kickoffs? You need me to do kickoffs? And I was kind of hoping he was going to say yes, because I really wanted to kick off in a game. I'd only kicked off in one game in college, so I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to jump in there and kick off. But he had Jay Reid take over all those responsibilities, and he went in and did a great job. And yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for making that back here, huh? Yeah.
Obviously, outstanding offense. Tell us what's your going into this week. What do you think you need to do to get the win?
We got to stop the run first. We got to stop the run. They have a dynamic rushing team, whether it's the quarterback run, whether it's the 3 running backs they got. And if we're able to stop the run and force them to pass, then we can focus on one thing. But with their playbook wide open, we got to find something to stop or slow down at least.
All right, man. Tell me your favorite part of this week. What's been the favorite part?
Favorite part, I haven't had no favorite part yet. Waiting to Sunday. Sunday is my favorite part of this week. Being able to play in a game on this type of level, in this atmosphere, knowing all the work we put in throughout this offseason, training camp, everything is taken to get here, all the adversity we face and everything we have to overcome.
Finally, I don't know if it's you or Travis being the happiest guy on the team, but you're always smiling, you're always having fun out there. Talk a little bit about your attitude and what makes this game and life so fun.
I think being able to wake up every day is fun. You could be doing anything, but being able to open your eyes and wake up and smell the stinky breath on your teeth, that's fun. Yeah.
So, Mr. Karlaftis, you're in your first Super Bowl, your rookie year. What does that feel like?
I mean, it feels incredible. I'm extremely fortunate to be in this position. I'm blessed, just like everybody in here. And you couldn't ask for much more than to be a part of this, of a great organization like this, and to be in a position like this.
And George, what has it been like adjusting to the speed of the NFL? I mean, practicing against Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense every week, I imagine it's pretty good practice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just you got to keep improving every single day. That's what keeps you fresh in this game. And that's what allows you to reach that next level. Just constant improvement and always chasing greatness.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, thank you.
game. So let's knock on wood that I even get close to Hurts. Yeah. Let's just hope I get close. These days, we never know, right?
I mean, the Eagles defense has a great sacking team. How do you actually look as same sacking person, Mr. Reid, his play, his performance?
Yeah, he's been remarkable throughout the year. Should be in the DPOY conversation with a tremendous year he's having. That D-line is remarkable. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. You know, they got some studs on that D-line, so it's going to be exciting playing against them. I think they was #1 in sacks. We was #2, so looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. How you doing? I love the outfit, by the way.
Thank you so much. Trying today.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Thank you. First of all, how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, a little under the weather. Yeah, I know, sinus, allergies. It's a little drier here.
Yeah, it's just Frank sounds good.
Yeah. We got to get a humidifier, air purifier, all type of stuff just to stay out here.
Yeah.
It's serious.
Is it bothering you? Like, is it good?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah. Get some rest, hydration. I appreciate y'all.
All right, so playing off his question, you know, just not getting it from Jake, how much you visualize it? What have you been thinking about when it comes to what you're doing?
Every game I think about sacking the quarterback, how I'm going to sack him, what it'll look like, what I'll do. I think in order to achieve something, you got to already visualize yourself having it. So I do a lot of that. I do a lot of manifesting. Been watching film, but yeah.
You just like walk around the halls like practice working on some
No. No, I do it in my room.
in the front of the mirror to see how it looks?
Yeah.
So we're going around talking to all the guys on the team, offense and defense. Just why Travis Kelce is always open. It just seems like he's undefendable. Why is Travis Kelce always open?
I think him and Pat have such a chemistry that if Trav run one route, that's a route built off of that route. So as soon as defenders are lulled to sleep, Trav is running another route, and Pat understands Trav so much that he knows what he's doing. Like, hey, if I run this stick route and they cover me, I'm going to go to the flats, or I'm going to run across the middle of the field, just hit me. You know what I mean? So they've been playing together so long. I think that chemistry right there is how
chase after some money or an opportunity that wasn't the best. So I think just a lot of prayer and leaning on God during that time to see what was going to be the best one for me.
That's even worse sometimes if just waiting for the one phone call, huh?
Yeah.
Too many doors to pick from.
Yeah, too many doors opposed to just one. And I think, but I'm grateful to have that opportunity to pick where I wanted to go. And I think it worked out because I'm in the Super Bowl right now.
Did they make an offer?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. But they were a little tight with cash because they had a lot of other things going on. But signing Rasul, signing Elton to a big deal soon. Signing Jair. They had a lot of moving parts, and they couldn't afford it. So it is what it is.
How do you like Kansas City?
It's a little bit bigger than Green Bay. We still get that same kind of feel there, and also their fan base is super supportive, just like how it was in Green Bay. So I think having two of the most supportive fan bases, for my career has been great.
What's that Husky's name?
Ace.
Did you think about it much? I mean, maybe not why, but just how poorly the Chiefs played.
Yeah, as a whole, we played poorly. Offensive, defensive, special teams. It was our day. I looked at it as like, hey, sometimes in life it's not your day, and it's okay. You got to take a sucker punch right on the chin, keep your head up, and you'll meet it again. That's the beautiful thing about life, man. Life is full 360. It comes full circle. You know, whether it's losing to the Bengals, playing the Bengals this year, and going to the championship. So I'm appreciative for this journey, appreciative of what it taken to get here, and I'm excited about Sunday, man.
Can you name the 5 position players, not special kickers, 5 position players who will have started each of the 3 Super Bowls?
Position player, don't matter what player.
Yeah, no matter what player. For the Chiefs, 5 guys who have started all 3 Super Bowls.
Frank Clark, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Nick Bolton.
95 and Jerick McKinnon.
Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. It just speaks to the core of this team, man. The type of guys we brought in and built around their core. Damn. It's only 5, huh?
Just 5. And Harrison and Winchester are part of that, but position players only. I just thought it's been a lot of turnover, especially this year's team, right? All those
Yeah. Yeah.
The Chiefs to keep it going, though. It says a lot about this organization.
Says a lot about Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid is the best coach in the world. Brett Veach, the best GM. Mark Donovan is the best president. Clark Hunt is the best owner. Thank you. A little brown nosing, but it's okay. Year in and year out, it's about experience. It's about getting everybody going, especially for me. I got to make sure I set the standard day in and day out, whether it's practice, whether it's walkthrough, whether it's just attentive to detail. I think both sides of the ball plays a huge role in our success as a team. Steve Spagnuolo has been tremendous this year on his play calling and what he's been able to not only do with me, but do with this defensive line, him and Joe Cullen and Terry Brady, speaks volumes. And what Pat and the offense and Coach Reid, Eric Bieniemy has been able to dial up on the offensive side of the ball has been putting us in positions to do what we like to do best, and that's rush the passer. I've been very fortunate. Me and Spaz, I look at him like my grandpa now. You know, over the years, you gotta he's gonna cuss me out. Over the years, you build that chemistry and build bonds where you kind of understand one another. I kind of know his game plan, how he likes to call games, how he likes to go about it, especially early in the game. So I know what calls I can ask for on the sideline, or know what calls to expect going into a game. So I think it grew a lot. Oh.
So I wanted to ask you do a lot of why is that off the field? You're an awfully busy guy.
I think it's important to give back, help out, and reach grab a hand, pull someone. I think we're better when we're working together. That's always been my thing since I was young. You know, I think it was instilled in me when I was young and living in Houston, Mississippi, population of 5,000, and not a lot of people are fortunate enough to, you know, have to ends meet. It's a poverty community, and just helping out and giving back has always been my DNA.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
We're out.
I look forward to seeing 3 years.
Uh-oh.